like she can't sell the vagina at 38, 39. Vagina sales at all ages. Now, it may not be on the higher scale of selling, but it still sells. Ask your Uncle Bobby.
Hello, black hole. See this brother win, man. Hey, look, what is your win, babe? What is your win, babe? What is your win, babe?
Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's looky would be our not Dolce & Gabbana earrings. Ooh, the quality on these is killing it. Okay, they killing it. I'm telling y'all, look at this quality. Ooh, sexy. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, hold on. I got to drink my strawberry $5 water juice. Let's continue to talk about Bobby Womack's My Story. 1944 to 2014. In October 1962, Brown was hooked up to play a 7-night stand at the Apollo Theater in New York's Harlem. The Valentinos were also on the bill, sharing the stage with soul man Solomon Burke, the Texas blue guitar player Freddie King, and the comic pigment Markham. Brown played 5 shows a day, and we matched them. They stuck us in the worst ratbag hotel, the Cecil on 118th Street in Harlem, just a few blocks south of the Apollo on 125th. There used to be a famous jazz club on the ground floor where Thelonious Monk, Count Basie, and Duke Ellington had played, but when we checked into the hotel, Cecil, like the rest of Harlem, it was checking out. The neighborhood was a trip. There were burnt out cars, burnt out apartments, and burnt out people. Hustlers, hookers, boosters, freaks, users, boozers. Here come the good part. You're welcome. You're welcome. One hard leg was propped up against the wall of the Cecil. First of all, I didn't know what the fuck a hard leg was, but as I read on, now I do. She was dolled up in a platinum wig and must have been about 6'3" in her stilettos, raggedy old tights, and a skimming skirt. She was white under all that mascara, eyeliner, and rouge. Never had a white chick. Besides Tina, I hadn't had anything. I'm sure Tina made sure of it. Sam had given us $75 to get us to New York and see us straight for a few days before we started earning from the show, and I was holding it. Before we checked in, I walked up to the lady and asked her how much. My brothers were behind me, pleading with me not to blow the whole $75. Well, I'm glad they understood your desires. Couldn't have been my $75 or my portion of the $75. You mean to tell me the brothers is like, don't spend all the money. Don't spend all the money. I know you want some of that hooker, but only give her like $10. That's it. Man, you wouldn't spend any money that's supposed to be partially mine. You ain't going to spend shit of it. Not on no hoe. Now when you go around the corner a little bit further, you might be able to find another dumb bitch to give it to you for free. They said, Bob, let's save it. Man, it's for food and stuff. Come on, man. But I had only one thing on my mind, and that was some good white vagina. I told them, man, all my life I needed this. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. The lady waved me away. She said, damn fool, I got a kid your age. I could believe it. She must have been the wrong end of her 30s. The hell that's mean? You know, like she can't sell the vagina at 38, 39. Vagina sales at all ages. Now, it may not be on the higher scale of selling, but it still sell. Ask your Uncle Bobby. Get out of here. But I was insistent. I don't want to hear that shit. Look, baby, how much is it? You could use this money. He talking like he done bought a whole bunch of vagina before. She asked how much we got, and the $75 changed her mind. That's a different story then. What do you want? I said, I want it. You know what I'm talking about. You're going to give me the whole $75. I told her she could earn $50, but for that, she'd have to do all my brothers too. She looked behind me to see a little line of black brothers snaking back across the sidewalk. They'd quieted once there was a prospect of getting laid. All these guys? That's right. There's only 4 of them. She wanted the money up front. Now I was nervous because I'd never done it with a white woman. And this lady was way more experienced than Tina. If my old man knew what we were doing on our first night in New York, he would have killed us. Your pappy don't care. Your pappy's gonna give 2 craps about you. Remember? Because you ain't singing the Jesus music no more. He don't want no parts of you. The Barbie. Mr. Big Mouth, she said, pointing at me. I'll take you first. But I pushed Cecil forward. I wanted to go last. I told her. We skipped up to her room in the hotel. Cecil went in, came and trotted out within minutes. She'd given him a hand job and said, that's done. That's easy. Harry was up next. He came out smiling. And then Curtis and Friendly Jr. gave it their best shot. Then it was my turn. I stalked in nervously, and she had my pants around my ankles in seconds. Whipped it out, and we got down to business. It wasn't lovemaking. It wasn't tender. And it didn't take more than a few minutes, but it did the trick. I finished up, and the hooker said, nice doing business with you. For the 5 of us, the whole adventure had lasted probably less than half an hour. But we all felt like we'd become men. 2 days later, we found out we were ill men. Pissing started to hurt. I wasn't going to tell my brothers something wasn't right. Then Cecil piped up. He said, man, I don't know what kind of vagina that white woman had, but it must be dangerous. We all laughed at that. And I said, why? Nigga, you know why. You know why. Because you stuck your dick in a hot potato. Then we were all groaning, especially when it was time to take a leak. I thought Solomon Burke might be able to help us. I knocked on the door of his hotel room. Solomon answered. About 400 pounds and just 5 foot. He filled the door and stood looking down at me. You one of those Valentino fellas, huh? He asked. I seen you around. Yeah, Mr. Burke, I said, but this is kind of personal. I need to talk to you. I told Solomon I had a friend that thought he had caught something. He says it's hard to pee. Oh, yeah? Bring him down. Let me talk to him. I told Solomon he was ashamed. He said, boy, I think you got the clap. I said, he got the clap. That's what I said. I asked him what it was, and he said it wasn't too bad. You notice his eyes jumping? Yeah, they're jumping all right. I told him. Well, that's just the beginning. Soon his dick will swell up about this big. Man, I freaked out. What can he do? I asked. Solomon said, maybe they can save his dick. They will put it on a table and take one of those wooden mallets and hit it. Bam! I must have turned white. Finally, I fessed up to Solomon that there wasn't no friend. It was me with the clap and all my brothers. Am I going to die? I asked. Solomon laughed. You got the gonorrhea and you need an injection. I limped back up those stairs and told my brothers that Solomon had pointed us in the direction of a health clinic around the corner. He'd also warned me not to fuck around with hookers again. The old nurse at the clinic didn't care we were the Valentinos. Them nurses don't care. Them nurses don't care. Do you know how many rich people come through them damn emergency rooms with gerbils in their asses? Them nurses, they done seen everything. You know, my wife is a nurse. They don't give 2 craps about none of that because stuff like that happens all the time. Listen, Do you know how many things they be finding in people's arses in them emergency rooms? Y'all better stop playing with me, the Bobby. She loaded up 5 big syringes, lined us up against the wall, ordered us to drop our pants, and hit us with the clap serum. Boom, boom, boom. That was it with fucking women, for a while at least. We could hardly walk. Our pickles were so sore, and we were scared to go to the bathroom because it hurt worse pissing than not. The next night, when they called us out on stage, we couldn't dance. We were in agony. In fact, it was so painful, all 5 of us sat on the edge of the stage with our legs dangling over the side. Those tight black Rudolph Valentino pants that Sam had us dressed in didn't help. James Brown said, "I don't know what's the matter with those boys. They're the laziest looking bunch of motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life." James wanted everyone to call him Mr. Brown. It was like you had to pay your respect to the king of soul, the hardest working man in show business. Everyone was scared of Soul Brother number 1 because he ruled with an iron hand. His band would play every night in fear. One time I saw Brown standing with a couple of drumsticks in his hands talking to one of the drummers in his band. He said, "Last night while I was playing, you missed me on the second song. You missed a couple of beats." The guy said, "Mr. Brown, I ain't missed no ... Brown didn't let him finish. He whacked the drummer with the sticks. "You missed him." He turned and walked away. If he wasn't whacking the band members, he was fining them for missed dance steps or scuffed shoes. The fine could run from just a few dollars to 50 notes or more. James Brown made you earn everything. You had to earn his respect to be in his army. Each act would go out on stage smoking, trying to take the audience that night. It was good for us because it made you try and kill the house. I'd kick my shoes off, whip off my shirt, acting like I was about to slip out of my pants. Anything to get a reaction. Get someone to take note. Make them believe there's a bad little nigga. Some people were scared to be on stage. They'd be intimidated. But if you couldn't cut it out there, you had no place in a James Brown review or show business. You might as well die. For the most part, though, Brown treated us pretty good. And he taught us, too. Watching him every night from the wings and then learning new steps in his changing room meant we were pretty polished by the end of the week. We learned the value of money that week, too. After blowing most of the $75 on a hooker, we were practically starving after the second day's performance. Harry stole a pound of bologna and a loaf of bread from a store. After we finished with James, we headed back to California. Sam was waiting for us when we stepped off the bus. Stepped off, dressed identically and walking straight and in sync, like Brown had taught us. Sam pointed and threw his head right back and laughed. "Oh my," he chuckled, as we pranced past him, all in line, like the showbiz soldiers Brown had created. James got him. I can see that. James surely got him. The next step on the ladder for the Valentinos was when Sam put us on the chitlin circuit. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit Up Top Beauty for our not Dulce and Gabbana earrings. I think I got them on wrong, y'all. I think I'm supposed to put them on the other. I'm going to do them the other way the next video. Anyway, people, remember this. The same people you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, have a good one. Peace.